you landed in clairvoyant class, and lo and behold, you found out that yes, absolutely, you could see.
They kept telling me that, and I thought, no. These people are telling all these grand stories, and it's this color, and that's going on, and this is going to happen. And I'm like, I don't want to know anybody's future. I just want to meditate and be in my own little space here, and play some music. So they kept telling me that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It turned out I had a lot of filters in the way. So they taught me how to clear those off. And then I was like, now I get it. It was through the exercise of seeing that then I could understand the lessons.
Let's talk about meditating every day and what it means to us and why we do it. So why do you meditate every day?
When I started the clairvoyant training back in late 90s, it was such a game changer to feel like I have my own. One of the things that helped me realize I have my own power, where all before I was thinking I was powerless, like behind the drums, not being, fully expressive. I had tools now and technique. And before it was just kind of amorphous. It felt like, do this meditation. And back then, again, you guys, it's before you had an app. So you had to read a book and so a line here, a line there. Okay, do this. Okay, do this. Okay. So that's how it started. But through the techniques and stuff, which is fun and easy, I learned that I can change my surroundings. I can change my approach to life. If I felt less than before, I can feel more powerful. And the grounding and so forth can be used to projects for all sorts of things. I remember when I took the first couple classes of meditation through the clairvoyant training, and I was learning this stuff, and I thought, oh, this is great. I got to keep going. But the next class is clairvoyance, and I'm not clairvoyant, so that's for them. But I wanted to get to the transmedium stuff at the other end, get to that later. But I finally knew that I needed to do that. And my whole thought was, okay, I'll learn these skills, but I'm still going to do this service-based meditation and just at home, quiet by myself, not bothering anybody, and I'll play music. And there were tools like, I knew I had to take that training, but it was expensive. In the 90s, early 2000s, it was like $2,400. That's a lot of extra cash to have on hand. And I was a studio director at the time. And I knew I needed to take the class. So I thought, well, I'll use these tools that they teach us to ground the space. And they said that it'll work out. If it's on your path, if you're aligned with this, then it'll work out, right? So I thought, well, got nothing to lose. I made a decision first. That's my next step. I need to take this training. I don't have that much cash to throw down. So I'm going to sit and meditate and ground and see what happens. The money flew in and then some. So the money for the whole year was there, plus enough to buy me a big fat motorcycle to get there and back every day.
That's hilarious. That's great. So I think we need to back up a little bit for the audience and talk about clairvoyance, right? So clairvoyance means seeing clearly, right? It's not about predicting the future, which a lot of people think, right? It's about seeing from the eye of spirit, the eye of wholeness. And it's an ability that we all are born with. Psychic is the root word of psychic means of the soul. And we're all souls, so we have these abilities, right? We come in with it. Think about it when you were a little kid and things that you saw or things that you could hear that or you knew. And then it was kind of washed over or, discredited or, it's like, well, and then we start to shut it down. And of course, I dove right into science. And that was my go-to. And I see now that, I needed the parallel. And so you landed in clairvoyant class, and lo and behold, you found out that yes, absolutely, you could see.
They kept telling me that, and I thought, no. These people are telling all these grand stories, and it's this color, and that's going on, and this is going to happen. And I'm like, I don't want to know anybody's future. I just want to meditate and be in my own little space here, and play some music. So they kept telling me that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It turned out I had a lot of filters in the way. So they taught me how to clear those off. And then I was like, now I get it. It was through the exercise of seeing that then I could understand the lessons. Where before, when I'm reading all these books and I'm just kind of thinking about things spiritually, I wasn't really having the lesson. I wasn't really understanding and seeing and knowing. I was thinking about it. And those are different. I've learned now those are really different spaces. And yeah, these techniques, I would have never sought out clairvoyant. It's almost like it needs rebranding. It's accurate. Clairvoyant.
So we could say seeing the truth of yourself and letting go of the unresolved and the filters the labels that we gave ourselves along the way.
Sure.
And the decisions we made about our experiences that really no longer serve us. So we could rebrand it that way. I think that's a great plan, because really that's what we're all doing in personal development and spiritual self-development, and really connecting to who we truly are. Just like you said, when you had that healing, the sound healing, and then you sat down and you started drumming, and whoa, the drummer came out.
Yeah.
So now it's inspiring to be able to share this with people.
I feel like that's what led me to teaching. Was the teachers would always say, through the exercise of reading, because I really resisted sitting down and doing readings as part of the training. I'm like, that's future predicting, psychics, crystal balls and stuff. I'm not interested. And they kept saying, no, this is it's training. You're learning. And there's technique for everything. So I thought, all right, I love being here. I love these people, and I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm expanding, I'm happy. And I'm learning more and more. But it was really true that when I started reading something, you see your match in another person, right? And all in the world, we have somebody comes up and it shows us, oh, I'm like that too. But in reading, I could be in a really neutral space to see somebody's going through a hard time or whatever, and you can see all of what's going on that got to there, what's going on with the other person and stuff. Through seeing that, I could understand myself more deeply. I could let go of old limits that I was holding on to. All the lessons started to make sense through the practical application of reading. I never expected that to happen. And then I was just having so much fun, and I've been in training for 30 years now, you guys. So you think I'd get there, but no, there's more to learn. And through that, and after a while, it's like, I love teaching anything I love doing. Music, drumming, scuba diving, anything I enjoy doing, I'm going to teach it. And so it was only natural that I've been doing this for so long, and it's changed my life so dramatically that I want to teach other people how to do it as well.
I think what's fascinated me so much about reading and seeing my own filters or mental image pictures that are ready to go, that beyond that is the truth of what lies underneath it, within, right there, pushing it out, like letting it go, so that the true person can be in the world. And so that's for me, one of the most fascinating parts of this. And, we talk about, we would call it a matching picture. In neurobiology, we would call it mirror neurons, where we have these brain cells that sense and see and hear and feel what the other person's doing as we relate to it. So it's all there. So then how do you manage that in the world? And so one of the things that I found to be extremely effective, and why I meditate every day, is because it helps me to clear to clear, just the filters and the whatever has been a stressor of any kind. So stress drops, calm. I'm calmer, and I have more clarity. And for me, one of the biggest gifts was to be able to distinguish my energy from other people's, because, as a doctor, in serving people and working with people, and people who have had trauma or in trauma and in pretty severe conditions, to be able to distinguish that was really healing for me. And I'll give you a quick example, because I know that's part of your gift, is working with sensitives. Because we're all picking up on it. It's just a matter of, what do you do with it and how does it affect you? So the other day we were out shopping, and we were in a kitchen store, and the woman who was helping us was really cranky. She just was having a bad day, and they were having a sale, so the place was packed, and I was asking questions, and she was just like, exasperated with me. And so I left, and I said to my husband, wow, she was really cranky. I could feel myself getting cranky. And then I was like, wait a minute. So I sat down and I said, okay, I don't need to take her energy on, and I don't need to be cranky. And so I let it go, because I realized, maybe she's not feeling well. Maybe she's just having a bad day, or somebody she knows is sick, and she's got something going on that she's overwhelmed. And she just wasn't real patient with me. But I don't have to shift from having a nice Sunday to having a cranky afternoon. And so that's one of the gifts for me, is to be able to really shift gears, like you said, pretty fast.
I had a similar thing happen just recently. So many things happen on a plane, it seems like, for me. But I was coming back, I was headed back home, and I'm excited to get back home. I've been gone a while and ready to go. I always ground my trip, and I get on the plane. I'm excited. We're getting ready for the takeoff. And I love the takeoff, because it feels like a roller coaster where you get smushed back. Like, that's my favorite part. So I'm excited. Here we go. And then all of a sudden, this wave of anxiety, fear, just washed over me. And I'm like, whoa, it was undeniable. I've always been really sensitive. That's one of the Claire's abilities to sense energy. But even though I had tools, I was kind of blown away by that, all this wave of fear. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not afraid of the takeoff. That's my favorite part. And then I thought, well, is the plane going down? No, I don't think so. And then I check in, is this my fear or is it someone else's? Oh, it's someone else's. And then I kind of tune in. Oh, it's this lady's right here. She's afraid of flying, and she's whatever she's going through. And so using these tools, I was able to just clear it out in like no time. Now, that takes practice, but I was really amazed by how powerful that wave of anxiety was. And even though I have tools and I kind of pull my energy in on a plane and stuff, but you can shift it in a minute too. That's a big part I like to help people with now. Highly sensitive people, empaths, intuitives, where we accidentally pick up energy around us. Sometimes because we're curious, like how many of us are magnets for somebody in distress? You obviously are as a doctor. Yes. But I would experience that even in grad school, in music school. The person with trauma drama would show up. Hey, Julia, what do I do? I'm like, yes.
Well, this has been wonderful, Julia. What's one thing you'd like to leave the audience with today?
Be yourself. To tune in and see and know truth for yourself. We get carried away with that person on TV says I should be like this. The advertisement for marketing products says I need to be like this. The teacher said I need to be like this. I would say be yourself. Tune in, see and know who you really are.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I love that. So thank you for being here and being who you are in the world. And so where can people find you?
JuliaHarrell.com. I'm on all the socials, Julia Harrell Spiritual Guide. So you can find my reels. I had little teaching vignettes on the reels on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all that. And there's a free class on my website for sensitive folks. So come try it out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, give me a thumbs up and be sure and subscribe so you get the next one. Meanwhile, here's a couple more videos.